Hello beautiful souls, it's Jess. I'm back with another pick a card reading. This reading is going to be for what are your talents and abilities that are available to you in this lifetime that you can use to help others and to flourish your skills so that you can be the best you. So pick a card readings where you take a moment, you meditate on all the different cards here, and if there's one group that you're particularly drawn to, or if there was a stone that popped out to you, go ahead and focus your energy on that card group, and you will be getting a reading based on that. So again, this one is what are your talents and abilities in this lifetime, and how can you use them to better yourself and the world? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We have group 1. We have a lovely a blue agate here. We have some pyrite in group 2. We have some apophyllite in group 3, some sardonyx in group 4, and blue sandstone in group 5, and finally a lovely quartz in group 6. So I'm going to go ahead and start with group 1. I'm just going to move these guys aside so they're not in the way. And you can go ahead and click the timestamp in the description. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I will be putting out more as they seem to be enjoyed by quite a few people, so I'm very happy to hear that. All right, so what are your natural talents and abilities in this lifetime? So I feel like you kind of open people up. What I'm getting is you open people up. You allow them to see things from a different perspective. So the Hanging Man is all about shifting views, changing perspective, and things like that. So the Hermit being reversed as well is you kind of bring people out of their shell. You kind of allow them to open up to you. So you might be some sort of mediator, some sort of counselor, just kind of allowing people to just open themselves up more, and people feel very safe with you. Like they're not afraid to get deep with you. They're not afraid to open up to you in this regard. This is really excellent. You're able to kind of be there for people when they need you, and you're able to kind of answer the call when you're called to duty or whatnot. You're able to kind of, I feel like, breach, there's the whale here, breach the deeper parts of themselves and allow them to open up and allow them to kind of almost commit themselves emotionally to healing, allow them to make vows to themselves, make vows to others, and kind of come out of this more concealed energy. So essentially your ability is opening people, like really getting to the root of the matter. Though it's not like it's some deep work that you're able to do here, and I think that that's a fantastic talent to have, and the fact that people feel safe with you, and that you're able to allow people to see the world in a little bit of a different light is going to be really excellent. And I feel like you work with a lot of people that might have perhaps they have mental disorders in terms of maybe like a little bit of antisocial, people that normally don't see the world in a way that is considered normal. So you might even work in maybe a field of mental health, or are interested in mental health. And I definitely encourage you to pursue this, because I'm definitely seeing that you are able to kind of break through people in this way, which is a fantastic ability to have. So I believe that's all I'm getting from this stack. right, moving on to group number 2. What are your talents and abilities in this lifetime? So I feel like you kind of offer this grounded compassion. Like having the finance card there makes me think that you're really good at kind of allowing people the practical, like helping people make decisions. Perhaps in terms of finance, in terms of practicality and things like that. But you do it in a way that is very loving and very compassionate, where people don't feel controlled or obligated to like follow your choices. You kind of allow that breathing space for people to be able to make those decisions. What I'm seeing here is, you know, like when people first start out on different adventures and different aspects of their life, they are sometimes faced with a choice. Now you're here to make that choice a little bit easier, and I feel like you help people like solidify their goals somehow and allow them to really open themselves to new potential. And it could very well be that you are in a field where you kind of maybe are in perhaps like a position of power, or a position revolving around finance, or are just really good at allowing people to see the practicality of things in a way that is kind and loving and compassionate, and also showing people how they are able to, in fact, be a little bit more practical about their choices, rather than kind of being carried away by the emotions of say a new idea. So you do definitely allow people to come into themselves through compassion, through like a pause in their thinking, and allow them to be able to move forward with these plans in a way that is constructive, and in a way that isn't going to essentially be too, I guess, maybe a little bit impulsive in terms of following the emotions of it rather than following the practicality of it. So that is an excellent talent to have. And it's funny because the Fool's Gold, the Pyrite, is you know, a lot about finance and wealth. So it's kind of amusing how this kind of plays into it, especially with the finances card here. But again, it might not necessarily be finance. It might just be that more logical, that more practical aspect. So I think that is an amazing talent. So great job on you. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next pile. All right. So here we have our lovely Apophyllite. Okay, so immediately I'm getting that you really help to inspire people and allow them to know how to take on the world and all of the responsibilities that come along with it. So you might, like, you really push things forward. Like, I feel like you have this really strong energy that may come across as a little bit fiery, but you really know how to just kind of get to the root of the matter in a way that is very direct. You show people how to take on their level of responsibility without being overwhelmed by the burdens of it all. And I feel like sometimes too that you yourself might even take on a lot of work. Like, you work really hard for the people that you care about. And I feel like you're quite in tune with who you are as a person. You embody a lot of wisdom. You carry a lot of light in you, and a lot of karma energy, a lot of energy that's being carried forward from From past lives, I feel even, you know, this is a reading for this life, but I feel like you just radiate this warmth and people feel like they can count on you for like things. So like they do something for you. They know they're going to get what they need back out of you. You're able to make people feel that sense of security, that sense of warmth that may be lacking in their life. So I think that this is a fantastic set of cards to get. Definitely that you're just radiating that warmth. I'm just seeing if I pick anything else up from this. But you, like I'm saying, you definitely push things forward. So you're a pusher. Not everybody is going to be comfortable with that. Not everybody wants to like understand themselves in that way because it's uncomfortable for some people. And some people maybe do feel like everything is a little bit too much. So facing your difficulties is something that's going to be difficult for you. But making sure as well as a healer like this not to take on people's outcome too personally, because you are easily maybe overwhelmed by some things. As much as you are doing amazing for the world, just know that you can take on people's energy quite easily. So making sure that you're not getting wrapped up in that. But aside from that, absolutely beautiful energy, very warm energy, and you're doing a lot of good for the world. So keep on shining because your radiance is really glowing, and you're creating a lot of really good karma by being in touch with that light aspect of yourself. And I feel like you're also helping other people deal with some past karma by being so forward and being like, you know what, just deal with it, just get over it, just get through it, in a way that is supported, in a way that is essentially like a pillar of light, a little bit more of a stubborn, but in a way loving and passionate energy. So that's all I'm getting for that. Moving on to group number 4 with our Sardonyx. Okay. So this tells me that you may be working in a field with a family and family conflict, or you might be really, really good at understanding what people need in terms of conflict resolution, in terms of romance, in terms of fulfilling their loving desires and needs. You're really able to nurture people. And perhaps you work around families, or perhaps you have an interest in families, and being like this pillar of resolution and understanding what the needs are of this particular, set or group of people. You really kind of understand that, and you allow people to open their eyes to some of the things that they might not be realizing in their family dynamic, in their love life. And you're able to provide that sense of nurturing. Like I'm seeing, like there's nurturing here and there's baby here. So like I really do feel like this is family oriented, or oriented around people that are extremely, extremely close to each other, and that you're able to kind of open their eyes to things that they may have not seen before. But a very, very loving energy that's coming from you, and that's really helping to kind of open the eyes of the people that you are working with. And also something that did come into mind is that you could also be, I feel like maybe potentially like a caregiver, like a nurse, like a nanny, or even, I want to say a counselor as well, but I don't really feel like this is that kind of energy. I feel like it's more of a empathic energy rather than, let's say, like maybe a more mentally structured energy like a counselor, but definitely helping people understand and work through conflict is what you're really good at, as well as offering that nurturing energy with just kind of like a ding ding, hey guys, like you might need to take a look at a few things here, but you do it in a way that is very loving, and you're very understanding and empathic of people's needs. So that is a very beautiful energy to carry forth, and you do it in a way that is just, it's just very elegant. I want to say you're able to just kind of do this in a way maybe people don't even know you're doing it, but you can kind of soothe. You can soothe. You're really good at that. The baby too, yeah. I'm seeing a lot of soothing energy here, just calming and relaxing and kind of removing any obstacles in terms of that. So excellent, beautiful energy. I'm very happy that you're in the world. That's perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and move to the next stack. We have some blue sandstone. So what is your talent or ability in this lifetime? So oh, this just screams you love working with nature, you love working with the earth, you transform, you create, you inspire. And you have, I feel like you have like almost, you've built your life in a way where people feel like they can depend on you, they can count on you. You might be self-sustaining, you might have your own thing going on. Regardless, I feel like you are really in tune with the earth. Like I'm seeing farm, I'm seeing earth magic. Transformation, you might be growing your own vegetables, you might be working somehow outdoors. And allowing people to almost be inspired by that, and you show people the real challenges of being able to self-sustain. And sometimes it might be difficult for you because you might not always reap what you sow, because you are working hard and you are working with nature, and sometimes you do run into difficulties in that regard, whether it be due to weather, be due to climate, things like that. You might not always be able to reap what you sow, and there might be a little bit of challenge in some of the things that you might cultivate. But I'm definitely seeing that you really help to ground people. You ground people, as well as you're super in tune with this nature aspect. That I feel like you almost carry that forward into the way that you help people and you deal with people and you help the world. But I'm definitely seeing that you might have some frustrations with the energy that you put into it. You might not always get back, but you're still working really, really hard despite that, and you're still this amazing, strong person that is that is almost creating this harmony and this balance in life with earth. Like, I'm not saying that you are necessarily working at a farm or working with earth or anything like that, but I really feel like you make changes, you make big changes in how you transform the world through a lot of hard work. You work quite hard. And I think that you really need to be recognized for that, because it's not always an easy thing to do. And you're able to be harmonious about it. Like, a lot of this hard work isn't getting to you. You might feel that slight frustration of maybe not getting everything that you desired, but fear not, you are doing really great, and you are transforming things at a really deep level and in a way that is going to continue to change in a way that is consistent. So you're not making little tiny minute changes. You are making big changes. You are making changes that are meant to stay. And I think that that is amazing, and that is a beautiful talent to have. So you keep up the excellent work with that. So we're going to move on to the next stack. All right, finally we have our last group 6. And what is your hidden talents and abilities? Or I guess, what are your talents? Might not necessarily be hidden, but what are your abilities? So I'm feeling like you might not necessarily be the one to make people feel like, oh yay, everything's fine. You might have to deliver some pretty difficult news to people sometimes. I'm feeling like you might be in, I want to say maybe like a field of healing of sorts, or interested in a field of healing, where I'm seeing that sometimes you might have to deliver some news that is not so fortunate to people. But you are a very beautiful and still energy, and you're very creative and you're very understanding, but it's almost like you're able to kind of allow people to make or have people see the more kind of serious aspects of life. And a lot of people might not be able to do that because they're just weighed down a lot. You have a really creative energy as well, and I feel like amidst all of this, you really need to make sure you're cultivating and you're nurturing that, because this level of intensity that comes with this, like, it can be a little bit stifling and a little bit overwhelming, because you are working on breaking a lot of people's thought patterns, a lot of people's behavioral patterns. Like, I am getting like maybe like counseling, or maybe like people really go to you to tell you things that are just really intense, and you offer this level of stillness, but at the same time you also kind of provide different ways of looking at the situation. But people don't like to be rewired. People don't like to be changed in that way. And I feel like there may be, like, you might see a lot of resistance from people because of this kind of cool, calm, and collected attitude you have about it. Whereas some people might take that as like apathy or disdain. It's just the way that you are, because you need this level of stillness in order to kind of to create like this safe space for yourself. But like, you can really bring people's energies down into a sense of groundedness and a sense of understanding, and you do it in a way that's very cool. Like, I'm sensing a lot of, like, I'm not gonna say icy energy, but some people might be like questioning whether or not you're really like emotional or not, but you definitely are. You definitely have that aspect to you, but you are quite guarded as well, because you are helping so many people in this way, I guess. But it is a very beautiful and a very cooling, almost like a soothing energy for people that are willing and ready to break that chain. You are not a bad person by any means. You really actually just want to help people. But people might see you with this this solitude, this stillness, this, can I really approach this person? But once they get to know you, they realize, yes, you are quite creative and you are quite imaginative. It's just that you have this ability to kind of to almost close yourself down because of how much you help people. And this is an excellent talent to have, because this way, like, you allow yourself to be more grounded, and you're not overwhelmed by emotion and feeling all the time. And by being this stillness, you're able to kind of help people through their situations, and you're able to kind of deliver the news that you need to deliver. Like, yeah, it's hard to know for sure, but that's kind of what I'm getting with this. But yeah, no, absolutely fantastic trait to have. You know, everybody's energy offers something different, and I feel like yours is more stillness, and you really don't need to change that aspect of yourself. Some people might come across and they're like, oh, you're like this, you're like that, I don't like it. Well, don't change, because you're doing great things. You are offering that stillness. You are doing what you need to do. And I think that's fantastic, and I feel like that's beautiful. And you might also, I feel like I'm also picking up that you might also work kind of a little bit more solitary, like you prefer to work on your own. And you are quite a creative soul, but you might just not work with people quite as much. It's a lot more solitude, and maybe you have to deal with people, but you're not quite in contact with them as much as a lot of other people are in terms of their work, their career, their interests. But that's excellent. That's great. All right, so that concludes our readings today. I hope you found this helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I would be happy to answer any questions you have in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Well, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you again soon.